4 years and 1 wrestling season ago, I was sitting at the home of the Glucks, eating Shabbos lunch. I was about 13 years old, and I was about to start high school at a crown. Now, let me describe myself for a moment. I was a bit shorter, unathletic, uncoordinated, and quite frankly, a lot pudgier. And when I heard my parents talking with Mr. and Mrs. Gluck about the Edacron wrestling team, I quickly dismissed it, saying, they obviously can't be talking about me. So it came as a shock to me when my mom turned to me and said, Nirel, did you hear that? You should really join this wrestling team at the school. To which I obviously responded by laughing and saying, yeah, right. Wrestling couldn't be the sport for me. It took great strength and talent, and I had neither. After talking a lot with them and with Avi Gluck pushing me to try it, I still stubbornly refused. But my parents didn't give up. And they convinced me to give it a try. And so on that second Tuesday of freshman year, I went and I took my shorts, my running shoes, put on a t-shirt, and jogged outside to meet the rest of the people who were there and who would later become some of my best friends. By the end of practice, I decided that I wanted to go to the next one. And by the end of the week, I decided that I really wanted to stay with the team. But what really got me hooked was when we went off and we came into that lunchroom, rolled out the mats, and Ellie taught us not only how to do a wrestling stance properly, but also how sore you got when you did 3 sets of 50 push-ups in as many minutes. But I loved it. I loved the movement, I loved the sport, and I even loved how sore I was when I got home and collapsed on the couch. And wrestling, I finally found a sport that I was good at, and I really just wanted to improve myself and keep getting better. What I ended up getting from the wrestling team, though, was so much more than that. I made friends on those mats that I wouldn't have imagined talking to otherwise, and I was given the chance to really come out of that middle school shell and into this crazy high school life. The wrestling team helped make who I am today, and the people who I've wrestled with are some of the best people in the world. Because when you join this team, it isn't only those that win or who have talent that are treated well and respected. It's those kids like me, the ones who joined the team not being able to do 1 lap around the JCC without walking, the ones who were gassed after 10 push-ups, and the kids like me who never thought that they would be able to grow up to be a senior who others would look up to. But the wrestling team is a family, and once you get into a family, you're there to stay. It's not a matter of liking or not liking one of your teammates. It's not a matter of agreeing with their viewpoints or not. It's a matter of walking through the halls of ICJA and knowing that at every turn, there's a friendly face that you can look up at. It's not a matter of what you say to each other or how you act during that 6 to 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's the bonds that you create that last throughout that. And the bonds I've created on this team are ones that would never be expected from any regular high school sports team. And to be honest, who's better to lead such a family than Coach Klein? Since the first day I met him 4 years and 1 season ago, I really grew to love the man. He was always there to push us, to make us not only go further, but to make us want to go further. And if he thought you were taking it easy during practice, then God help you. But he is also so nice to each and every one of us. After practice, he would come up to us, ask us how we were doing, and really want to catch up on our lives, and he genuinely cared about each and every one of us. And I am so honored to be here, and I really want to thank Coach for everything that he's done for me and for helping me become who I am today. I have other coaches that I want to thank too. Captain Porter, without you, the Aces wouldn't be nearly as good as they are today. Every team needs a man like you, someone who not only knows every move that has ever existed, but that can also teach them in such a way that we can all get it. You break it down into the concepts where we can see how each move works and really learn from that and improve ourselves as wrestlers. And you're also there to help us for those few matches that we just can't bear by ourselves. To Ellie, who unfortunately can't be here, I want to thank you for giving me that strong base, both literally and metaphorically, with which I built myself up as a wrestler. I don't know how they managed without him for the years without him, but I'm glad I didn't have to suffer through them. He really opened the door for me for a wrestling career worth remembering, and I'm grateful for that. Danny, not only did you give us your time, but you also gave us your home. In the off-season, you said that any wrestler that wanted, so long as you were free, was able to come to you, ask you for any personal training, and you would be able to work around our schedules and really help us. You wanted us to succeed. You wanted us to get better. And I'm really thankful for that, and I really did improve from the help that you gave me. Coach Barry, you haven't been with us long, but when you joined, my wrestling technique shot up in how clean and controlled it was. It might be coincidental that I started riding legs around the same time you came, but it really wasn't coincidental how much better I got at it from you. You were always that drill partner that I could rely on, that always made me work hard, and that helped me up when I got injured and ended up throwing up on the side of the mat. So thank you for that. And to all of my teammates here, I want to thank you for the confidence you've shown in me, for putting up with me for as long as you did. And in my 40 years, I've known 9 grades of wrestlers, and I've seen many champions, but really, you are my favorite year. You stand out to me above the rest, and I could not point out a single person here who has not, at one point, impressed me over the years. What I want you to promise me is this. Promise to remember what I've told you tonight, and to take it into next year and the years to come. Treat each other like family, because that's what you really are. That is what lasts. In 20 years, no one will remember who had the best season record or who had the fastest pin. But what you will have are the bonds and the friendships that you've made here. Do that, and help push each other, make each other better, and I guarantee that when I come to visit in the next few years, there will be a whole lot more banners hanging in that gym. Thank you all.
This Jewish community that, in honor of a grand opening of a new synagogue, hosted a